This is the BLUETTI AC200 Power Station. This thing looks like something you'd find in a serious workshop rather than your average living room. Massive, sturdy, and a bit techy. If you're someone who's been on the fence about portable power stations, just like I was at the start, I want to give you a quick review based on my own hands-on experience. I'll cover how it actually feels when you use it, what works, what's not so great, and who I think will get the most out of this beast. Starting with appearance and first impressions, the design is all about function. The AC200P L is squat and substantial, more like a toolbox than a sleek gadget. It's got orange accent strips, but mostly black, a rugged texture, and big integrated handles that sit flush with the top for easier hauling. I wouldn't call it pretty, but everything about it feels durable and ready for abuse. Great if you're always hauling gear in and out of RVs, sheds, or trucks. Up front, the 4.3-inch touchscreen is hard to miss, and all the ports are protected with thick rubber covers, which helps keep out dust and dirt. It's unapologetically practical. You can tell right away it's built to work, not to win design awards. When I picked it up for the first time, I could definitely feel the weight. At around 72 pounds, it's what I'd call luggable, rather than truly portable, especially if you have stairs or need to move it far. I get why BLUETTI put so many handles on this. If you're thinking of using this as backup power for home, in the RV, or off-grid camping, you'll want to decide where you want it and try not to move it around too much. I set it down under my inverter, in the trailer, and honestly just left it there, except for the occasional power outage at home. Now, for the user experience, the part that really made or broke my opinion after a lot of research and finally pulling the trigger to buy it. My first test was after the AC200P L had been sitting for months untouched. When I fired it up, the display still showed 100% charge, and that's the confidence you want in a backup unit. I love not stressing about whether the battery will have juice when I need it. This thing has so many outlets. Regular 110-volt AC ports, USB-C, USB-A, a 12-volt car port, two 15-watt wireless pads on top, and a 30-amp RV TT30 port, which for me is the real star. If you're an RV user, you'll know that a 30A hookup is needed to actually power everything inside, not just trickle charge. Having a true 30A port means I could run everything in my trailer: microwave, lights, outlets, and even pre-cool the fridge before a trip, without rewiring or hassles. On a typical day, I'd run the fridge on electric, some LED lights, maybe charge my laptop, and a couple of drone batteries. You can do all this at once thanks to the big battery and all the ports firing at the same time. Using the AC200P L as a whole home backup during brief outages was smooth. For a refrigerator, I could get several hours of runtime, and with the furnace running low in the winter, it lasted over 3 days when turning down the thermostat. Home power backup wasn't something I had felt confident about in the past. Old power stations just couldn't handle the load, or I worried about weird little quirks that would have me fussing with breakers. With this station, it's pretty much set it and forget it. One unexpected but very useful feature is how it automatically detects shore power. Whenever I plugged it into external AC from a campground or a wall outlet, it auto-switched the load, powered up the outlets, and took over without a hitch. It even runs high-demand stuff like my 15,000 BTU air conditioner with a soft start kit installed for about 40 minutes, and anything lower than that for much longer. I love that peace of mind. I'm not left guessing if the AC will trip a breaker next time I'm out camping. Now let me talk about what I actually like most about this station. Having fast recharge options is a huge plus. At home, plugging into AC power lets me bring it from empty up to 80% in about an hour, which is honestly awesome. You can also recharge by solar, which fits the whole point of being off-grid. And with expandability, I can add extra battery packs if my needs grow, pushing total capacity close to 8,400 watt-hours. That means multiple days of power for just about anything a campsite or a small home could throw at it. Reliability and longevity were key for me. The LiFePO4 battery chemistry here boasts over 3,000 charging cycles to 80% capacity. For a lot of us, that could easily last a decade or more. No more worrying about whether the battery will degrade like some old laptop after just a few years. And the built-in UPS, uninterruptible power supply, lets me run electronics like my desktop PC without losing power or even noticing a flicker. Thanks to a super fast switchover time if the power suddenly cuts out. The fans are another high point. I'm always a bit paranoid about devices overheating, especially in the summer. But even pulling over 2000 W, the fan noise stayed soft. Nothing close to a gas generator or even some smaller battery stations. But let's be real. There are things I didn't love as much. The weight is definitely one of them. While technically portable, moving 72 pounds is not easy, especially if you're going solo or have to carry it any distance. My style is to put it in place and leave it there. Another issue is the proprietary charging cables. BLUETTI's locking AC and DC inputs are not standard, so you can't just grab any old cable as a spare. In my case, the locking ring on the AC charging cable cracked after about 10 uses. BLUETTI shipped me a replacement quickly, but now I always keep it extra safe, and I'd suggest you do the same. Don't lose or break that cable, or you could be waiting a while to use your station again.